Welcome into TexAgs Rewind. Got a question for you guys. How do you feel about that Bobby Burton piece? And before I let you answer, which you can comment below, Roy, say something. Just tell the people something. Anything.
Just what an absolute clown. It's somewhere between clown and dumpster fire on the spectrum of stupid.
Hunter, any thoughts?
Hot garbage. And, yeah, some, Jimbo NIL stuff, so it's good.
Yep. Kelly?
Bobby Burton's piece was trash. It just was.
Not a good piece, but these guys are really good at being fans and friends of the show. So the fan show guys were in here for TexAgs Rewind. We want to remind you to visit T-Mobile.com/CrossAmerica to learn how you get value and coverage through T-Mobile. So we talked about the Burton piece. We talked about NIL with Stephen McGee and also NFL talk with him. Schloss was on the show. We talked about this upcoming series with Mississippi State. Aaron Torres on basketball transfers. Hassan Diarra going to UConn. How about that? Good luck to him. And, of course, we had women's golf on the show. Had to talk to G and to JP here on the show to talk about their run now going to the national championship game, or excuse me, I should say the events moving forward. It is TexAgs Rewind. I butchered that entire statement, but these guys don't care. They just listen and go.
It's a golf tournament.
It's whatever. Let's go. No, it's good. It's good. Get them. Watch. Stephen, we were just talking a moment ago about how NIL has afforded the opportunities for players like Damani Richardson and Nia Smith to stay an extra year, make some change, hopefully, and also perfect their skills, get a better draft stock for next year. Do you think that maybe with this new era, and Jimbo touched upon this last night, by the way, just to how those two guys are really going to help their draft their mock drafts out there. But do you think this is going to be maybe a sign of things to come here in the future so guys do make more money and perfect their craft a little bit?
I think it could very well be one of the better sides of the NIL. I've spoken at length about some of the downsides, in my opinion, of the NIL, but I think this is definitely one that's good. And, I always go back and for some reason, Tyrell Dotson, great player at A&M, linebacker, and, his story is one where I felt like he could have benefited from another year. He ended up being a free agent pick, and he's done great in the NFL, but I felt like he really could have boosted his stock. He needed one more, and I think he had the wrong people in his ear. And so he leaves early, but I think in the world of NIL, he's the kind of guy that you want back in your locker room. He's a great teammate. He's a great leader, and he's productive on the field. And so that could have, and I don't know if he graduated or not, but those are all the things that I think NIL can provide for these kids is, hey, you know what? As a free agent, you're going to get $10,000 to sign with the Philadelphia Eagles, but no guaranteed money. You come back to A&M, you're going to get $80,000. You're going to get to finish your degree and potentially boost your stock and become a 4th-round pick next year and make a signing bonus of $700,000. To me, it makes a lot of sense.
You mind saying what your signing bonus was? Because weren't you a 4th-round pick? $700,000? Should I assume that's what it was?
No, I wish. Inflation's real, OB. Oh, President Biden's had something to do with that. It's what a time to be alive.
Hey, Stephen, do you remember any friends of yours, perhaps, that got bad information and tried to go in the draft, and then obviously was a little bit a dose of reality came after what their agents told them, but what really happened?
100%. And, here's the sad reality of that. And I think the story I just mentioned with Dotson is 100% what happened. He got the wrong people in his ear. He got his agent, and he took their advice, didn't rely on Jimbo. And I think as a player, you're thinking, well, Jimbo just wants me to come back and play. He's a biased opinion. And they seem like this agent is their best friend and is not biased in their own right. Well, the agent just wants to get as many guys to declare for the draft so that he has a better chance of having X amount of players that he represents sign a contract and he can make his commission off of them, right? Mm-hmm. So to me, you've really got to trust that expert opinion. And I could be wrong here, but I really believe that your head coach is talking to the people that are the decision makers, and he's going to have a very good feel on what your talent level is. He's going to have a lot of guys that have come out before you that have been drafted. And so he has a good bar and reference point, whereas your agent doesn't know. Yeah, those guys don't have a clue. And so at the end of the day, no one can tell an athlete who to believe or who not to believe. But, man, you really do wish that they would trust the advice of their coaches, because I really do think those guys have their best intentions at heart.
Another big series, as I mentioned a moment ago. Explain how razor thin things are here in the SEC, how wins and losses. You got a Mississippi State team that obviously had an amazing year last year. The record isn't there, but their pedigree certainly is.
Yeah, I mean, it's the scariest thing ever. You got a team that is returning, I think, 6 of their 9 everyday position players from a national championship team. They've had some huge injuries on the mound. They've played competitive baseball. They've just lost some ball games. It's one of those teams that knows how to win. Program obviously knows how to win. That is probably has one more great run left in them. And so, especially given our, how we've won ball games, which is the bottom line is you want to win, but it's not the most, ideal model. Every game is a straight up dogfight. And so we'll just, I'm confident in our players, and I know we'll be ready to go. Getting ready to head out to practice here in about 30 minutes. But yeah, it's going to be a dogfight. I mean, they're playing. We have to be more desperate to win than they do, and that's going to be the challenge.
You mentioned knowing how to win. This is a team that knows how to win. How about you all this year have really, especially here in SEC play, learned how to win games late, early, different ways. Has that impressed you with the way this group has gone about their business, knowing how to seize the moment?
Yes. Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think that's why I say if we ever really do get it going on the mound outside of Detmer and a few other guys, I mean, it's a scary bunch, and they could literally achieve anything they want to achieve. It doesn't matter the score. We don't like to play from behind, but there's been a lot of games where we've played from behind. So, that's a brutal way to try to play, but it also, when you're in those situations and you come back, then you don't panic when the other team goes up by a couple runs. But the competitive spirit, I've said it all year, the competitive spirit of this bunch is as strong as any team I've ever coached. And, I've been lucky enough to be a part of some great ones that had that in them and won some big games to find their way to a long postseason. This is a team we'll look back and very fondly of, regardless of how the season ends.
Jim, one of the things that has impressed me is the fact that people have taken turns having their moment to shine, right? Like you may have a little bit of a struggle, and that's when Chris Cortez steps up and vice versa, and Austin Bose has stepped up. Different people have stepped up throughout the year. It hasn't just been one guy.
Yeah, certainly our depth, position player-wise, and the ability for, like we've talked about before, for Bose to play multiple positions, for Targach to play multiple positions. I mean, if you told me before the season you're going to play most of the year without your starting shortstop and most of the year without who I think is our most physically talented player and was headed, I believe, toward an SEC Player of the Year type season in Trevor Werner, and then no Christian Curtis, no Ty Sexton, some other guys go down, I'd be like, holy cow, what is that season going to look like? But we've had some guys really elevate their game. Menifee has pitched way better during the season than he did in practice preseason. That just shows you, veteran experience. Palish, Brad Rudis has gotten us some big outs. Wyatt Tucker, I think, is coming on. It'll be interesting to see how his season finishes here if we maybe give him a chance to pitch in a little bit bigger role. And also, I still think Micah Dallas's best innings are ahead of him. And, winning players sometimes show up when they're needed the most. And Micah's a winning player, so hopefully they'll start this weekend.
So there's a part of me that was happy to see this news that I saw hit my timeline yesterday that I think you will probably be happy about. Hassan Diarra going to UConn, your school.
Oh,
yeah.
I was going to ask you, what do I need to know? Everybody's asking me. I mean, I watched him. I've seen him, but Give me the inside scoop. I mean, you slept in Reed Arena for like 2 weeks after you thought you got COVID, so you must have the real inside scoop on this one.
Well, I'll tell you this. I know that Buzz loves him. I'll say loves. Not loved him. It didn't end. He was a guy that he basically said could be a coach on his team any day. He was a coach on the team. He was not the most talented of the guards out there, but the guy hit some game-winning shots, was dramatic. I mean, he had a knack for hitting big shots, really good defense. I think for him, he left not because he didn't like playing here, but he was looking for more playing time. I don't know the guard situation at UConn, but A&M's got some pretty good guards that are here, and now with some transfers as well, I think he just was looking to get more minutes, and hopefully he'll get that at UConn. We all love him here.
Awesome. No, that's great stuff. Yeah, no, the long and the short of it was UConn kind of, I've told our fan base, it was the first year that there was real success, but then also portal activity. And I think it really jarred UConn fans who are kind of used to, once you come here, you want to stay here. And it was really interesting. It was end of the bench guys. There was actually a player, I don't mean to nerd out here, but there was a player who reclassified to redshirt and then still elected to leave after the season. And UConn fans thought, what's wrong with the coaching staff? Is there something we need to know? Why are all these guys leaving? And what's ended up happening was you replaced 3 back end of the bench guys with really 3 high level guards, one from Virginia Tech, who, of course, if you remember, made the NCAA tournament after winning the ACC tournament, one from East Carolina, who was an all conference player in that league, and now Hassan Diarra, who was a big piece of, a near SEC champion, a team that we all still believe was an NCAA tournament caliber, if not outright should have been NCAA tournament team. So yeah, it's an interesting deal. And I know he did want to get closer to home. I know he's from the New York City area. And I think UConn fans are really happy with me are excited to see him as a Husky. And just kind of reading around without knowing a ton about the situation, it seemed like he left on great footing. And, it was kind of a decision that the coaching staff understood, and he wanted to be a little bit closer to home. And I'll tell you this, we'll take good care of him. We'll take good care of him, Aggies fans. Don't you worry.
Yeah, he's good people. I don't know if you saw KK Robinson transferred from Arkansas. He's coming to Texas A&M. I don't know if you've seen him much. I know he's been injured quite a bit, but a guy with a nice reputation, 4-star recruit. Arkansas had high hopes for him. But Buzz is getting his kind of guys in here, man.
Yeah, no, KK, what I know is basically what you've told me is what you just said is that really highly regarded recruit, really elevated himself over the last year and was really part of a Arkansas recruiting class that featured 4 Arkansas high school stars that all came. And that was kind of the first class that really built the foundation of what it is now. Jalen Williams, who all the SEC fans know is the guy that flops a lot or takes charges, depending on how you look at it. Devo Davis, who's still there, and then Moses Moody, who's now in the NBA. And KK, unfortunately, like you said, he could just never get going. He got hurt. I think it was a stress fracture in his foot his freshman year. And then what ended up really happening was, not really a slow recovery, but just a natural recovery. You get lost on the depth chart. I remember even talking to somebody at Arkansas last year where they were telling me, going into the season, sometimes we're talking about, hey, this piece, how does this piece fit with that piece? And you kind of forget that you have KK because it was just a deal where, again, it's the nature of the business. Guy gets hurt, he's rehabbing, he's away from the team, slow recovery. And then he just never really found his footing, bad pun intended, with last year's team. So it's one of those deals. I think a fresh start's going to be good for him. The talent is obviously there. It's just about keeping him healthy. And then, like you said, good program player. A guy that bought into being basically an end of the bench guy for Arkansas this year, wasn't 100%, understood it, seemed like a good trooper during all that, all the success that team had. And after the season did what a lot of guys do, decided to look for a new home. And I think he'll have success at Texas A&M.
Yeah, we have Zoe, JP. I mean, they led to seeing them lead and do what they did. Just take us through that.
Well, JP had phenomenal first 2 days. And to get to where, I mentioned to her that we were playing great at the turn because she had made like an unforced error on 6 and 7. And so just want to try and help her calm the nerves because she actually hit a good shot on 8 that she just really didn't like, but it's where she needed to hit it. So I wanted to give her some assurance that she doesn't have to carry the load today, that everybody's playing good, she can relax, enjoy the moment because she was in a group that was trying to win a tournament too, individually, and she hasn't been in that position in a long time. So it was just wanted to assure her that she's okay. Zoe, that's Zoe. You know, she played actually really good on Tuesday, but just got nothing out of her round. Didn't putt very well. Found something in her putting Tuesday afternoon after the round and set up a drill for her. Her and Gio were working on something, and I told her, I was like, this is what you need to do religiously. And it can totally change the trajectory of your golf career. And it clicked right away. And, I mean, she didn't bat an eye for 17 holes and then had a silly mistake on 18, but phenomenal round by Zoe Slaughter.
How'd you get to Texas A&M? Tell us your journey, because I know you played at TCU for a little bit.
Yeah, so I wanted to transfer out of TCU my freshman year, but decided to stay another year since I was just a freshman. And it just wasn't the place for me. And when I found out that G was named the head coach for A&M, I reached out to Haley Cooper, who also had just committed. And I talked to her on the phone for quite a bit. And I reached out to Giovanna, too, because I ran into her at the course. And it was just like, I was just specifically looking for coaches that are genuinely going to help me out and care for me and just be the coach for me. And right away I knew G and Giovanna were my fit. So I immediately told them I wanted to come. This was my first choice. And it was definitely the right decision.
Yeah, absolutely.
Tell them part B.
Uh-oh, there's a part B.
Well, people assume, and I guess it's also true, but Jimmy on the men's team is also my boyfriend. So.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh.
So Jimmy's the real MVP.
That's the MVP, yes. Okay. And this has started before, so it's where we're, okay, gotcha. I see the connections there. So I want us to cue up the video again, and when you took this job, okay?
Oh, my God.
Is this what you were expecting? Is this like this
trying
quickly?
to make me cry?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying.
It's unbelievable. I remember sitting here with Gabe. Who would have thought?
What a beautiful moment, man. You've got to be so proud.
That's the word.
What a year. Wow, what a year.
And as Jimbo says, we ain't done yet.
I love it. Well, we are loving every second of it. You know that you have a home here on the show anytime, and I may put that on repeat because it's
just good stuff.
The love that you all are sharing there is genuine, and look at that. Look at the smiles, the crying. It's.
I think we talked about one show, David. That we wore the block tee for final round for together, in toughness, in talent, and that's this bunch.
We're so proud of you all. You guys will head to Scottsdale, and that begins May 20th through 25th. So, just give us some final thoughts, as he said, that you guys are not done yet.
All of us know what we need to work on, and we're going to take the next couple of days to work on that, and obviously recover our bodies. But we're ready. We've been ready. That's all this is what we work towards for, and we're ready to show up.
Hunter, it's been a while. Tell them what to do.
Oh, boy.
Well, you got to subscribe.
Yes, you got to do
off.
that.
You got to like it.
You got to like it.
And then comment.
Tertiary.
Yeah?
Did I get that right?
I think you got it all right. What do you think?
Share.
Way better than I do.
Share.
Yeah.
Share. Good call.
And this is a
Sharing
fact.
is caring.
Hunter and Kelly have started a TikTok channel. You got to go look for it and tell me. Yours is still there?
Oh, yeah, I did zero TikTok on mine. Hey, just real quick, I wanted to say this. This whole, when we finally won a national championship, everybody's going to say, well, A&M bought it. Well, sorry, you're poor. Because that's the rules.
The rich get richer.
America.
Welcome to the world.
It's America. It's TexAgs Rewind. Bye.